The park basks in the golden glow of a sunny afternoon, alive with carefree energy. Children's laughter echoes through the air as they dart across the expansive green lawn. Couples lounge on checkered picnic blankets, sharing intimate moments under the warm sun. An elderly man sits serenely on a park bench, absorbed in the world within his book. Sunlight filters through the leaves, casting dappled shadows on the ground below. A gentle breeze rustles the leaves, carrying whispers of joy and tranquility through the park. Ominous dark clouds gather on the horizon, casting a shadow over the park. A sudden gust of wind sends leaves swirling, a wild dance announcing the storm's arrival. A sense of unease settles as people glance upward, their faces etched with concern. The approaching storm threatens, disrupting the peace of the park with its brewing intensity. Heavy raindrops begin to fall, splattering on the pavement. People scramble, packing their belongings in a flurry of hurried motion. An elderly man struggles with his book, shielding it from the downpour. A mother calls out to her children, her voice sharp with rising urgency. The sky bursts open, a torrential downpour transforming the park into a blur of motion and desperation. Lightning flashes in stark white, painting the fleeing figures against the dark sky. Thunder echoes, a powerful roar that sends shivers through the rapidly emptying park. People scramble, a chaotic dance of umbrellas and hurried steps seeking shelter from the sudden storm. The deluge intensifies, leaving only a few brave or unlucky souls exposed to the full fury of the elements. Rain transforms the park into a swamp. Anna, soaked, frantically pats her pockets, her face etched with rising panic. She claws through her bag, scattering belongings on the muddy ground in a desperate search. Mark, his tailored suit ruined, hunches over, shielding his briefcase, his face grim and phone dead. Both figures stand isolated, battling the storm, their expressions mirroring shared desperation and frustration. In the park's dim light, David huddles beneath a tree, his youthful face etched with shivering fear. Scout barks, a frantic plea tearing through the quiet as she strains against her leash. Sarah struggles to hold Scout back, the dog's anxiety a palpable force pulling her forward. The frantic dog drags Sarah forward, driven by an unseen urgency. A silent plea etches David's face as his eyes dart nervously around the empty park. Sunlight dapples through the trees as Anna strides through the park, her eyes scanning the horizon. A weathered garden shed emerges from the landscape, its paint peeling and roof sagging. A hopeful gleam sparks in Anna's eyes as she quickens her pace toward the dilapidated structure. "There's a shed, come on," Anna calls out, her voice filled with anticipation and urgency. The shed stands solitary, a silent sentinel in the vibrant green, beckoning with untold stories. Anna's figure grows smaller as she rushes towards the shed, driven by a mixture of curiosity and hope. Wind and rain relentlessly lash down, blurring the world into a storm-swept canvas. Four figures battle against the elements, their forms struggling against the tempest. Scout whimpers, tugging Sarah with visible effort as they fight through the storm. Each step is a battle against the wind, their bodies hunched and weary. Finally, the garden shed looms into view, a sanctuary against the raging storm. Drenched and exhausted, they reach the shed, seeking refuge from the relentless onslaught. Inside the cramped garden shed, dampness clings to the air, a chilling reminder of the storm's relentless fury. Gardening tools clutter the space, casting long, eerie shadows in the dim light. They huddle together, seeking warmth against the biting cold, their clothes heavy with water. Each drop of water, falling from their soaked garments, echoes loudly in the confined space. The storm outside rages on, a symphony of thunder and wind that isolates them further. Their faces, pale and drawn, reflect a mix of fear and grim determination amidst the chaos. Amidst cluttered shelves and dusty tools, Anna's determined hands unearth a small, battery-operated radio. With bated breath, she flicks the power switch. the air thick with anticipation in the confined shed. A burst of static erupts, filling the cramped space with crackling energy. The static resolves into a crackly weather report, confirming the storm's impending severity. A shadow of worry crosses Anna's face as the radio's grim forecast echoes around her. Inside the dim garden shed, Mark's frustration is palpable as he paces, a useless phone clutched tightly in his hand. David shivers uncontrollably, his eyes wide with mounting fear. Sarah soothes the trembling scout, her gentle touch offering a small comfort. The air hangs thick with unspoken dread and mounting tension. Each character is isolated in their own fear, united by the shared distress. In the garden shed, Anna attempts to cut through the heavy silence, a hopeful glint sparking in her eyes. "Maybe we should introduce ourselves?" Anna suggests softly, her voice a gentle invitation in the stifling air. "It might help lighten the mood," she adds, a delicate smile gracing her lips as she looks around the shed. Hesitantly, they begin to share their names, each word measured, each detail sparse and carefully chosen. A few details about their lives emerge, like fragile flowers pushing through hard-packed earth. Reluctance hangs heavy in the air, each person guarded, unwilling to reveal too much of themselves. Rain lashes the garden shed. Inside, Mark and David find a fragile camaraderie amid the storm. Mark confesses, "I'm just really anxious about this business deal, Mark. It could make or break everything I've worked for." David's eyes dart nervously as thunder cracks. "Tell me about it," David admits, a tremor in his voice. "I'm terrified of thunderstorms, always have been." The storm rages on, mirroring the inner turmoil of the two men trapped within the shed. Sunlight pierces the shed's dim interior, motes of dust swirling around Sarah, who sits pensively on an overturned bucket. David kneels beside her, his head bowed in sorrow, the weathered lines on his face deepened by shadow. Scout, the golden retriever, gently nudges David's lap, a silent offering of comfort in the somber light. Sarah's voice cuts through the silence, a gentle wisdom in her tone. "Sometimes, the storms in our lives help us see what truly matters." The sunlight streams, creating a sense of hope amidst the quiet grief. The storm's fury wanes, its thunderous roars fading into distant rumbles. Rain softens to a gentle drizzle, washing the world in a sheen of tranquility. Through the dispersing clouds, a tentative ray of sunlight pierces, painting the wet park in gold. The glistening leaves and freshly soaked earth reflect the sky's fleeting smile. A serene calm descends, nature's breath catching after the storm's dramatic climax. Anna and Mark emerge from the dim shed, blinking, their eyes adjusting to the sudden burst of sunlight. The park glistens, reborn in the wake of the storm, every leaf and blade of grass washed clean and vibrant. They exchange smiles, a silent acknowledgement of the bond forged in shared shelter. Anna offers a hopeful glance. "Maybe we'll see each other again." Mark responds with a matching sentiment, his eyes reflecting newfound hope. "Maybe we will."